What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Season 21, Episode 5 of Hitting the Fields. We have a great show for you, as always. Starting, we will be talking about the WNBA for 3 weeks in a row now. We're only one round away from the finals. And then for segment 2, we will be recapping the Sunday slate of NFL games, and there were some great ones, so stay tuned for that. And then lastly, we will be previewing the Monday Night Football games. There's a doubleheader, so stay tuned for that as well. Don't go anywhere because Hitting the Field starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back. Joining me to my right is Girls Got Game host Katie Sue Christensen and new assistant producer of Hitting the Field, making her main show debut ever is Katie Sue Christensen. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to finally be here. It's long overdue. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And then to my left, I mean, you have to be tired of him at this point, but it's Ty Patton, our WNBA aficionado. How are you doing?
I love women's basketball, Nick Cohen.
I've heard.
Yeah.
So have all the viewers for the last 3 weeks, but thank you for coming on. I know I give you a hard time, but we had one game that they're now going to a Game 5, and then we had another team clinch their spot to the finals, which we'll get to in a minute. But first, starting with that Game 5 series, the Aces and the Fever. Ty, tell us about this matchup, about this game. It was a great game, 84-72.
It was.
Aces defeated the Fever.
Yeah, so Vegas is having a little bit of not a tough time, but they're kind of figuring themselves out. Okay, Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, it struggled a little bit, but the main thing that I want to talk about in Game 4, they had 17 turnovers that led to 25 points for the Fever. Okay, that is ginormous.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're averaging 82.5 in the series right now, you cannot be giving up 25 points to turnovers. That cannot happen, okay? On the flip side, though, what they're doing good, averaging 37.1% from the three this series, upwards of 82 points per game like we mentioned. They're the same Aces team that I'm used to. Okay, every single year the same Aces team comes out. You know, Big Three, Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, okay, Asia Wilson, of course. The Big Three does it time and time again. And you know what? I was thinking about this last night as I was going through this. Like, I'll die on the hill. I don't think there's a checkered flag in sight for the Aces. I think they still have a long time left to go, baby. Okay, I think this team is going to be good for a half decade, okay? You know, we'll see them in the finals every single year. If you're a betting man, hey, Las Vegas Aces, 2026 champions?
Mind you, this is a guy who thought that the Liberty were going to finals. First round exits.
No, let's not put words in my mouth.
Let's just rewind. Liberty and Lynx.
On
wasn't
Tuesday,
it?
who do you think is going to take it, though?
Who do I think is going to take it? Aces.
Okay.
I forever thought it was going to be. It's going to be the Aces or the Liberty. Liberty lost, so now it's the Aces.
I kind of smell a huge Kelsey Mitchell game. I mean, 21 points in this game. She's been on fire in the playoffs. What do you think, Katie?
I think that she's definitely someone to look out for. I do think that the Fever will. I want to root for the Fever, I guess, after everything that they've been through this season. Losing so many players and just having to really fight back for this and being pushed down and coming back. Like, they know how to come back. So
exactly.
I do think, but
I mean,
hopefully.
let's just jump into the Mercury and the Lynx. The Mercury beat the Lynx
yes,
and moved on to the finals.
They are
How
advancing.
exciting.
I am very excited for them. I didn't really expect it. I really expected the Lynx to kind of take over since they were doing so well constantly. But after losing your coach and a player, a necessary player.
Right.
It's kind of hard to come back from that.
Really
so
is.
I think they did well for what they definitely had to work with. But it just sucks seeing you come so close to the finals and then you're booted because of something you can't really.
And I mean, Kayla McBride tried everything she could, putting up 31 points.
Yes.
It wasn't enough, unfortunately.
It was her
The Mercury,
playoff career high,
right?
too.
31 points is
And
extremely impressive.
yes, including 14 in just the third quarter. So
That's insane.
yeah, I mean, everyone is doing their part little by little.
Yeah. Ty, any thoughts on this game? I mean, this one was exciting. Mercury only won by 5. This game came down to the wire.
Yeah, on the side of the Mercury, okay, Alyssa Thomas had 23.
Yeah.
Okay. DeWanna Bonner had a couple very, very big threes at the end of that game to clinch this, okay? But I want to point out more so the Lynx, okay? The Lynx were on a crazy Linsanity run, but the one thing we know about Linsanity runs is that they always come to an end. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen. And for the Lynx, it was shorter than they'd like to expect.
Yeah.
But, you know what I want to point out right now is, hey, Mercury moved on, okay? I think the Aces are going to move on. All right, you know what? Give me the first Mercury Aces head-to-head matchup since the 2022 wild card.
You're
okay?
jumping ahead. I was going to ask,
No.
what are our finals predictions?
Aces.
Who is going to win?
Aces are going to win by a landslide, okay? It's the big three, like I said. And you know what the Mercury doesn't have? Okay, 4-time MVP Asia Wilson.
Asia
okay,
Wilson's biggest fan
points,
over here.
31 points, 9 rebounds in Game 4. Okay, that does not happen in women's basketball. Okay, on a consistent basis, no. You only have 4-time MVP. I'm talking about the Tom Brady women's basketball. Okay, if I put the Mercury up and the Aces up, and I ask them to go head to head, okay, who in the Mercury is going to stand toe to toe with Asia Wilson? Not one. Okay.
Wilson and Thomas have been definitely the highlights for me in the
Not 31
playoffs.
points.
Not 31 points, no, but
Wilson.
Asia Wilson's one player.
The best player. That's like saying Tiger
But
Woods
that
isn't going to
doesn't
win
make a
a
team.
PGA championship.
That doesn't-
That's not the same.
There's the same thing.
Because Tiger Woods doesn't play on a team. Golf is not a team
Sometimes he does.
sport.
Ryder
But we're
Cup
not
was
talking.
yesterday.
We're not.
Scotty and Bryson got together. What are we talking about?
We're not talking about golf, okay? We're talking about WNBA. And my question for you, Katie, is Aces Fever. They arguably, whoever wins this, not even arguably, they're going to be more hot than the Mercury.
Yeah.
However, the Mercury will have had a break.
Yes.
Do we think? How do we think that? factors into it?
Absolutely, because this is also a 7-game series, so they're going to be whipped. Like, it's going to be a lot to have to come back after not resting. So it is hard to see. I do think it'll have an effect. I do think that no rest and really getting right back into it, no matter how much the adrenaline that you have, it's going to be harder for them. They're going to have to deal with that.
I think that's a great point that you mentioned because, as we know, as we've talked about for the last 3 weeks, round 1 you only have to win 2.
Yeah.
It's a 3-game series. Round 2, you have to win 3, 5-game series. This one is a 7-game series, like we see in the NBA.
Yeah.
Ty, any final thoughts?
The final thought that I'm sitting on right now is even a healthy Mercury team, I don't think can compete on an athletic level with the Aces, but I think the chemistry on that Phoenix Mercury team could jab with the best of them. I think that is a well put together team.
That's
this
how they
team
score.
flows well together. Okay, that's how they win basketball games. So I don't think it's going to be a competition, but I think it's going to be fun to watch.
I know Andrew Montana, Liberty are out. Sabrina is out of the running for this. He
My
has
glorious
to be.
Queen, Sabrina Ionescu.
He has to. What about Asia Wilson?
Asia Wilson's better, but I mean,
Okay, you know what?
We have
Andrew
a
will be rooting for the Phoenix. I'm sure he'll be at a game. We'll have to stay tuned. Maybe we'll talk it next week, but don't go anywhere because after this, we will be talking NFL. Hi, sorry to interrupt your show, but I want to give you a little rundown of everything we do here at the Hitting the Field Network. My name's Nick Cohen, and I'm the host of Hitting the Field, our flagship show heading into season 21. Live streaming every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we talk about anything and everything sports. Tuesdays, we have season 3 of Girls Got Game. Hosts Katie Sue Christensen and Mia Flores discuss all the biggest topics in women's sports. On Wednesdays, make sure to tune into season 7 of The Combine, hosted once again by Ty Patton. This podcast dives deep into every detail about the NFL season. Next on Thursdays, we live stream season 11 of HTF Bets, brought to you by Andrew Gregg, Diego Ortiz, and Ben Huber. Any sports betting questions? I'll let the pros answer those on Thursday. Then TGIF, because we have new episodes of season 9 of Nighttime, hosted again by Matthew Bracker and Kathleen Moore. Nighttime keeps you up to date on all UCF and collegiate sports. Penultimately, Edgar Rodriguez and Patrick De Leon are back for season 2 of HTFC. Soccer is a year-round sport, so make sure not to miss HTFC. Lastly, end your week on Sundays with our vlog squad, asking the hard-hitting questions and letting you behind the scenes of our studio days. Make sure to follow us on our social medias like Instagram and TikTok to stay updated on all HTFN news. Remember to subscribe to the Hitting the Field Network on YouTube. Leave a like and comment, and with that, I think we're ready for your next segment. I've been Nick Cohen, and enjoy the rest of your show. Back, as I promised, we are talking NFL as we've done at least once every week so far, because you just can't. It's such a great season so far. Joining me to my right, Scott Harris. How you doing, Scott?
How's it going, Nick? I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to talk about NFL. I loved this week. This was a great week for the league.
Absolutely. And then to my left is Kathleen Moore. How are you doing, Kathleen?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. Very excited to be here. Always ready to talk about the NFL.
Absolutely. Now, if you remember, if you're a Hitting the Field fan, which I'm sure you are, these two people were on here, 3 weeks ago, episode 2. They were talking about the bad when we did the good, the bad, and the ugly. Lucky for them, they don't need to be in a bad mood today because we're only highlighting the good games this year. And so, Kathleen, you were at the Eagles-Bucks game, a great game at that, and your Eagles did win. So
Go Birds!
Yep, so
Go
jump
Birds.
right into it.
So this was a really incredible game, honestly. It was really fun to be out, although I really hated Raymond James Stadium. It was really hot and I got really sunburnt, unfortunately.
haven't been yet.
Yeah, I don't recommend it personally. But anyways, it was a great game. Started off with some really fantastic special teams play. It was literally in the first drive. Bucks were going to punt, blocked the punt. Then it ended up with a score. It was great. Put up 24 points in the first half, held the Bucks to 6 points in the first half. It was just an incredible performance by the offense.
This play right here was absolutely amazing. Sorry to interrupt, but just the ball tracking ability on that catch. Sorry, you can jump right back into it, but this play was magnificent. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But what I really like to talk about is the tush-push of deception and deceit. The tush-push of deception and deceit. Tush-push with a lateral? Oh, my gosh. This was incredible. You know, they hate the tush-push. They want to ban it. Well, I got news for you. We can do both. We can make you think we're doing the tush-push, and then it's going to be a totally different ball game. Because you don't know. You don't know what we're going to run anymore when we line up in formation.
Why are we acting like a running back pitch is the most innovative thing since sliced bread?
Saquon Barkley wasn't touched on that play, and I would like to see any kind of innovative football play that your Miami Dolphins are doing. I would like to see a single solid football play.
Let's jump into your game, Scott.
All right.
Eagles W.
Okay, I've got Jacksonville versus the San Francisco 49ers. This was a super entertaining game. I loved this game. I didn't watch it live, but I was just scrolling through all the scores from yesterday's lineups, and I saw that the Jacksonville Jaguars upset the 49ers 26-21. Brock Purdy, awesome yardage. He had 309 yards, just couldn't get the job done all the way. He had 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, however. I mean, this game was also just a turnover. It was a turnover palooza. Yeah. And I loved Jacksonville's performance here. We had Travis Etienne with 124 rushing yards and a touchdown. I mean, I want to believe that Jacksonville is back, and we're going to call them Backsonville today. That's B-A-C-K Backsonville.
Okay, well, another play on words. I saw this on Instagram this morning. Jaguars fans are calling themselves Strapsonville now, too, because, you know, we had Saxonville a couple of years ago, but now the Jaguars have 10 interceptions through 4 weeks, which is absolutely insane. So I think they can own that name. Christian McCaffrey, what about Christian McCaffrey this season? Just, you know, he hasn't gotten injured yet. I mean, knock on wood.
Christian McCaffrey is sucking the soul out of every single one of his teammates to stay healthy.
I mean, he did have a touchdown yesterday despite the lackluster performance, but we also have Ricky Pearsall, who's coming off an injury now. He had 46 yards. He had a knee injury in the third. I'm hoping that he's all right. I loved his catch that he had. He had a one-hand catch as he was falling.
And that's just what Ricky Pearsall does at this point, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah. Didn't want to cut you off earlier, but the Dolphins will not have any plays like that because Mike McDaniel stinks, but we'll get into that in about 10 minutes. Jumping into my game, the Chargers and the Giants. Now, everyone and their mother expected the Chargers to win this game. It was a 3-0 versus 0-3 matchup. Jackson Dart making his first career start, and he showed out. The Giants had 161 rushing yards, more than the Chargers, who are known for their running game this season at least. And then, Jackson Dart didn't have a ton of passing yards. But that's not the point because he got it done. Cam Skattebo is just, he's like Doug Martin.
What a guy.
I compare him to Doug Martin because of his small stature and just grittiness. Many other players you could compare him to. But the thing that possibly made this game or broke this game for the Chargers is they had 2 turnovers to the Giants' 0. Again, rookie quarterback, no turnovers in this game. Very impressive. We did see some of Russell Wilson, but any thoughts on this game? I know it was a big surprise.
Listen, I just want to say for a second, with the Malik Neighbors injury and the Joe Alt injury, I have no doubt in my mind that there's some voodoo thing going on with MetLife Stadium. I mean, this is getting ridiculous at this point. The second they step onto the turf at MetLife, it's almost like the ankles are cracking, the ACLs are tearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kathleen?
I just noticed my lower third, by the way.
Oh, you noticed?
I just noticed while I was watching the highlight. That's insane.
Is it wrong?
I mean, I don't necessarily like the language, but I mean, I definitely can agree slightly. But I have 2 words about Cam Skattebo.
I'm listening.
Maniac
Oh?
and classic. He's a classic American running back. It's just what you like to see when you're watching football. Like, that is the type of running back play that I love to watch in the NFL.
I love it.
So fun.
We're going to jump into some of the other games, though, before we get to a potential game of the year that we witnessed. Now, it was Ireland, correct? Yeah. Steelers defeated the Vikings. Now, Jaylen Warren did not play in this game, dual threat running back, receiving back. But Kenneth Gainwell stepped up. Caleb Johnson is a non-factor on that team. I feel like we've discussed this already on main show. But Kenneth Gainwell, 99 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 receptions for 35 yards. Absolute fantasy
right
beast.
On my bench.
Many people's bench. You're not the only one, Kathleen. So, and then our next game, not in Ireland. Patriots beat the Panthers. Panthers, mind you, they won by 30 against the Falcons the week before, and then lost by 29 to the Patriots. And Drake May, who showed out over 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, only did not complete 3 passes. Any thoughts on the Patriots? And Drake May's looked really good this season.
I don't know if it means much. The Panthers suck.
It is the Panthers.
The Panthers suck,
right.
and that's coming from someone from Charlotte.
Just outside of Charlotte.
Thank you.
I love the success coming from Drake May, though. I love it. I hate the Patriots, but any way to see Drake May succeeding in any way is just, it's beautiful to me.
I will say one thing. I started Caleb Williams over Drake May in my fantasy league, and now I need 40 points out of Devon Achane tonight. But besides the point, the Houston Texans, they defeated the Titans, who look god-awful. Cam Ward does not look good. Granted, his supporting cast isn't great, so, not giving up yet, but does not look good. Texans won 26-0, absolutely shut them out. And Woody Marks, 119 total yards, 2 touchdowns, passing Nick Chubb in that offense. And then our next game, the Lions should have probably beaten the Browns by a little bit more. Only 34-10. Amon-Ra St. Brown killed it.
Why is this a theme, though, that the Browns are like, okay, we can only say so much about the Browns, like losing by less than they should have lost. Like, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's a trend now. They're actually putting up a fight and sort of looking like a football team. What's up with that?
Maybe it's because they have a whole roster of quarterbacks at this point.
6 of them?
Yeah, I mean,
it's insane.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Our last game that we're going to highlight before we get to a potential game of the year is the Bills game. They defeated the Saints. Again, should have probably won by more. 31-19. James Cook, he is continuing his, would we say, top 2 running back season this season so far. 135 total yards and a touchdown. But now we will jump into potential game of the year. I know it's only week 4 of the NFL season, but the Packers and the Cowboys, they tied. It was a scoregami, 40-40. Micah Parsons did sack Dak Prescott. Some of the stats in this game were insane. George Pickens went off, 2 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs. I went against him in fantasy in one of my leagues. Who starts Romeo Doubs? And he scored 3 touchdowns, of course. Both quarterbacks absolutely balled out. Their completion, they did not throw many incompletions. No turnovers in the game from the quarterbacks. Only, I believe, a fumble. And this game was very exciting. Now, as an Eagles fan, I know you probably were hoping for a loss from the Cowboys.
Of course I
was.
But
you'll live with a tie, right? Because also you might be going head to head with the Packers for the conference. So
totally. I mean, honestly, anything to make the Cowboys' record look worse. And personally, I think that a tie looks terrible on a record. I hate seeing 2 dashes. It just makes me sick to my stomach. But something really important to note is Micah Parsons was virtually shut down all game. This was supposed to be his game, his big game to prove that he is better than the Cowboys. And he got 1 sack on Dak Prescott. And I think we all know that he is better than that performance because even as an Eagles fan, I can admit Micah Parsons is one of the greatest players in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly just shocked that he didn't ball out.
Yeah. Scott, any final thoughts?
I just want to say this may be a hot take, but I don't think there should be an overtime allowed whatsoever in football, especially in a tough gridiron sport like football. I believe there shouldn't be an allowance to tie a game. You know, I know it's the regular season, but I just think it should go on. Maybe not infinite overtime.
More like college football, where there will be a winner. Like
yeah, absolutely.
That's fair. Maybe we'll see that one day.
Yeah.
But that will do it for this week's NFL recap. We do have 2 more games tonight, so stay tuned. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Hitting the Field Network, and I am here at the heart of the UCF campus, the Student Union Plaza. Today, we're going to be going around man on the street style, asking the very important questions about our football team.
So UNC in just a couple days' time, give me your truthful, honest take on Bill Belichick.
He's good at NFL, but I mean, college he doesn't look so good so far.
I think he honestly really lucked out with Tom Brady. I remember watching him when I grew up, 6-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. The real question is with no Tom Brady, is he still as great as he is?
I think that his team, though, he has not a lot to work with.
College football, he's not ready. NIL, not ready. He is not ready to perform in the college landscape. And Scott Frost, okay, Nebraska didn't do great. That's fine. I get it. Okay. Come back home. Come back to UCF. This is where we're going to perform. Yes. This is where we're going to do it.
$1 million question. Ready? Will UCF make a bowl game this year?
Yes.
I don't know, maybe.
We need to. I feel like as the fan base, we need to, especially to support Scott Frost, get everybody behind Scott Frost. That's what's going to be needed. For sure. I mean, we play some pretty bad teams.
I think we definitely will.
There's going to be games like this and like the Jack State game where it's going to be close and like whoever wants it more is going to get it. We want you guys to win. I like to say that UCF is the diamond in the rough university. Be the diamond in the rough and show everybody that you are the diamond.
Well, everyone, as you can see, we have some pretty elite ball knowers here on the UCF campus, don't we, Edgar?
Yes, we do, and they're all excited not just for this week's game, but also for the whole rest of the season. So make sure you stay tuned, not just to nighttime, not just to HCFC, but to all 6 shows on the Hitting the Field YouTube channel.
And be sure to check out our Instagram and our TikToks. Go Knights!
Charge on!
And welcome back. As I previously mentioned, tonight we have Monday Night Football, and it's a doubleheader. So I'm joined by 2 fans of 2 of the teams playing tonight. To my right, Matthew Bracker, nighttime host, as well as Kathleen. I should have mentioned that earlier, but
Messed up.
I'm so sorry, Kathleen. Eagles freak. Broncos fan Matthew Bracker, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm actually not gonna watch the game tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really sad about it. I got a concert tonight. House of Blues.
Okay.
But I'm excited. We
House
have
of
football
Blues,
nonetheless.
Shout out. We'll have fun. And then to my left, Dolphins fan Andrew Gregg, how are we doing? And host of Bets.
Yeah. Can't pick and choose.
Yeah, what? Gosh, if we're just establishing it, Katie was host of Girls Got Game, Ty was host of Combine. You guys should know this by now. Host of Bets, Andrew Gregg.
First of all, you gave me the shortest intro I've ever seen you give anyone in the history of Hitting the Field main show.
Do you want me to give you an intro?
Please.
Host of HTF Bets, Andrew Gregg.
Thank
Andrew,
you
how are we doing today?
I appreciate
that
you, Matthew
was longer
Bracker.
than mine.
There was more words, I felt like. I don't know.
I think
I'm
we're just
feeling a little bit
all right. Well, we're going to jump into the first game tonight, the Dolphins and the Jets, and this is going to not be a fun game to watch because 0-3 versus 0-3,
You can
Andrew, jump into this game.
You can,
Because, yeah.
You can watch bad teams play football and still enjoy the product of what you're watching. Just because they're 0-3 doesn't mean anything. Both of these teams are very competent football teams, maybe the Jets less so than the Dolphins. But
definitely.
Yeah, definitely less so than the Dolphins. But going into this game, Tua has never lost a single game in his career versus the Jets. He's 6-0. And as you see on the graphic, both these teams 0-3. The Dolphins had a better season last year. Fortunately, we lost the final game of the season to the Jets, but Tua didn't play. Game didn't matter. So all of that was for naught. This season, I really like the Dolphins' defense, although they didn't get a stop until the second game of the season. They've come along. They've come a long ways from that second game of the season. 2 games removed now. They have Jalen Phillips and just a ton of dogs on that defensive line, and then the middle linebacker and the left linebacker are the outside linebacker. Both lead the team in tackles, as well as a secondary that is beat up a little bit, but I think they can stand pat against a Jets team that isn't very good at throwing the football. Justin Fields, I need to see more out of you. So I think that this game will be relatively competitive because it is 2 relatively bad teams, but give me the Dolphins in this one as a Dolphins fan.
Well, so I was going to ask, and I want your opinion as well. I'm conflicted because I never really want a Dolphins loss, but at the same time, if we lose tonight, surely that's the nail in the coffin for Mike McDaniel. So, and I want him gone. I've wanted him gone for over 2 years. Yeah. So what should I even be wanting tonight?
I mean, I think you want a loss, right? I think you want a loss until he's out of that building.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely atrocious what is going on with the Miami Dolphins, and I really do feel for you. Like, I really do.
I appreciate it.
Your head coach is, like, one of the most insane people I've ever met. What did he say the other? He was like, 1 day closer to death. It's like, you can't go out there and say that. You are the face of a franchise, and I think he's just an awful fit for you guys. I think his strategy of, quickness, I just don't think it works.
To win games, you can't lose games.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As a Dolphins fan, I would like to see as much positivity around the Dolphins as possible. And I don't think the season's quite over yet. On bets, I said that they win over 7.5 games. There's still a pathway to that happening. I believe in my team. And unfortunately, I'm not as low on Mike McDaniels as some other people. I think that he came into this role maybe not as the greatest leader of men in the world, but he does have some great offensive schemes. And it's not his fault that Tua can't execute them. It's not his fault that Tua can't throw. At some point, last game, he had negative air yards per attempt. How is that possible? How is that possible? Tua doesn't throw the ball deep anymore. Not Mike McDaniel's fault.
Mike McDaniel couldn't lead a school of fish, much less a football team.
Well, when he was on the 49ers, somehow they had one of the best offensive, even 2 years ago.
Because he wasn't the head coach.
Well, he was offensive
coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator. So he used to have a good offense, and then he was in charge of our offense as the head coach. He was still calling plays.
This is the problem with some Dolphins fans. You guys are too complacent.
I think I should go. I think I should let you guys hash this out.
We might need more time.
All right.
But so yes, I want McDaniel gone, despite what Andrew said. But at the same time,
it's hard to root against your team.
It's hard, and as we talked about last week,
it's the Jets.
It's the Jets. And like we talked about last week, we are displaying our new rivalry jerseys. And, I said I had one. I know. Devon, Achan, I love it. I know some people, I think it was Jaden, said he wasn't the biggest fan, but I love it.
How can you root against a jersey like that?
That's pretty peak.
Exactly. I know it's just a simple cop-out, do a blackout jersey, but I think it's beautiful. So ultimately, I think I'll be rooting for a win because McDaniel will still be on the hot seat. So I've made up my mind. Thank you for your guys' help. But we're going to jump into the second game tonight, the Broncos and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Now, this is where you take over, Matthew, Broncos fan. I think you guys have this game in the bag, but go for it.
Yeah, no, well, first off, I just want to say that I beat Nick Cohen in our HTF Fantasy League this week, and I really don't know how I did this. I started Blake Corum, and Malik Neighbors got 4 points before he got folded like an omelet. Nick, you were 3-0. I was 1-2. How did this happen?
I don't know,
I just can't believe it. I just can't
pull
believe
up my
it.
team, and then I'll think
while
you talk about
Sure,
the
of course, but we're going to talk about the Broncos because the Broncos are hosting the Bengals tonight, or should I say the shell of the Bengals, because as we know, Joe Burrow is going to be out for 3 months, which means they're stuck with Jake Browning. Bless his heart, right? I mean, this dude is awful. 3 touchdowns, 5 picks in 2 games. How is he on a football team? How?
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
My producer on Nighttime, the great Jack Kelly, he is a Bengals fan. Bless his heart. All right, because I don't know how he's going to survive when Bo Nix puts up 100 touchdowns on these guys, okay?
I love it.
This is the perfect game for Bo Nix to bounce back because he's not, I don't think best season of all time to start the year. But this is like when an SEC team plays an FCS school.
Yeah.
If the Broncos don't win this game, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.
We'll pray for you.
I appreciate it. But yeah, Bo Nix has gotten a slow start. We all know that. Like, that's fine. But he had a slow start last season. Okay? You know, he just doesn't come out the gate hot. You know, some people don't. I don't. You know, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because it's about how you bounce back. And dare I say, last time Bo Nix played a Monday Night Football game, one of the best quarterback duels we ever had on Monday Night Football. Bo Nix, Jameis Winston. Put up 300 on them. I have no doubt he's going to do the same exact thing, minus the 2 interceptions in that game. Against the 7th worst secondary in all of the NFL. So take the over, man.
That's valid.
Bo Nix, he's going to bounce back.
I like it, and I don't think it'll only be Bo Nix in this game. Because J.K. Dobbins has looked great. Cortland Sutton had a bounce-back week.
J.K. Dobbins, first Broncos rusher in like 3 years to put up 100 rushing yards in a game.
Really?
Isn't that insane?
That is insane. And we thought that would be R.J. Harvey, and it still will be. But through the first 3 weeks,
he's not emerging how we want him to.
Right. R.J. is the RB2, but he will get there at some point. I think the Broncos have this in the bag. As you mentioned, when I was doing some research, and I saw Jake Browning 5 interceptions in 2 games. Granted, he played Strapsonville. He did play that.
Jacksonville.
Yep, anything. There's so many things you could do with Jacksonville. I think the Bengals don't have much of a shot at all. And the Broncos have a great defense. I feel like we didn't even talk about the defense that much because he could throw 3 more interceptions in this game. Chase Brown could have 20 rushing yards on 16 attempts. I think this game will be very one-sided. Andrew, any thoughts on this game?
I think Matthew will tell you that the defenses look shaky at times this season, but I will say going with the Bengals at any point in the season for the next 3 months is tough to ask. They do have Jamar Chase, they do have T. Higgins, but Chase Brown has looked absolutely awful. They don't have much of a run game, and like they pointed out, Jake Browning is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen throw a football. 3 interceptions in about 2 quarters against the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose that, or to win that game, crazy. And then the Vikings game was essentially over from the start because of the way he played quarterback, and they ended up losing that game by 38 points. So I don't think that they have much of a shot. I think this is a game where Denver comes and bounces back. Bo Nix maybe gets off to a running start and then is able to continue that throughout the rest of the season, hopefully for Broncos fans. And I mean, we'll be able to see maybe a little bit more R.J. Harvey action. J.K. Dobbins, I'm kind of done with J.K. Dobbins in the Big 2-5 though. I don't know.
I agree. I wanted R.J. to emerge by this point, but he seems to be feeding Dobbins a whole lot more.
Unfortunate.
Which we don't love. But Matthew, any final thoughts on this Broncos game? Hoping for a win.
Bo Nix, take 3. Yeah, thank you. Bo Nix, I will give you my life to see the Broncos win a playoff game. Just please do your job. That's all I have to say. Just do your job.
I love it.
You're supposed to win. Just do it.
I love it.
All right, I'm done.
I love it. Well, any final thoughts, Andrew?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I love to say something to the Dolphins. Well, Tua Tagovailoa. If you could just throw over 150 passing yards, I'd be so happy.
And no interceptions.
I'd be that's the biggest thing. I feel like every single time I turn on a Dolphins game, it's just turnover after turnover, and it's always Tua turn the ball over. And I just want 200 passing yards and no turnovers. Please, if we can make that happen, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
You heard it here. We are on our hands and knees praying for wins for our teams.
Hands and knees is a little aggressive.
Whatever. I mean, I'm pretty desperate. I don't want the Dolphins season to be over already. But that will do it for this episode of Hitting the Field. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all the guests. We will definitely see you next week. Have a great rest of your day.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I